Ageless Energy Radio. How to feel 22 at any age. Would you like to feel young and vibrant regardless of your age? Never have to call in sick again. Be laser focused and productive all day long. Stop feeling stressed out by your life. Stay calm and confident no matter what. Go to bed feeling peaceful and wake up energized? Ageless Energy is healing your self-generating energy systems through the renewal of your body, mind, and spirit for complete wellness without artificial stimulants or medication. Would you listen? Anyone who wants to feel young, ageless, and productive regardless of their years. Join your host, Dr. Chandler George, as we explore your mind, body, spirit to feel 22 at any age.
Hey, this is Dr. Chandler George of Ageless Energy, how to feel 22 at any age. And if you notice, we are actually having a pool party here in Vegas. You can hear the music, and we're coming to you live, of which we'll have a Periscope video again pretty shortly. And I have a special guest with me today, Jessica Dee.
Dr. George, I'm so happy to be here with you in Las Vegas. Your energy is just, you could just feel it in the room and everything else. I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it in my pocket, and I'm going to take it with me after I leave Vegas here.
Man, you had a lot of energy too at the Day Spa Association meeting the other day. You were keeping everybody in line, and you had your chocolate line and all the different things you were doing going on, and you were on task, and the rest of us were just trying to hang on. So I knew we had to interview you, even though we'd only known each other for a few days. So what are your secrets, Jessica?
Funny. Well, Dr. George, you brought up the chocolate. See, when I'm in the Spa Association and in this environment, I am known very candidly as the chocolate lady. And what's interesting about our chocolate and why I'm in the spa industry is that our chocolates are actually fortified with antioxidants so powerfully that there is no other bioavailable antioxidant on the planet like what our chocolates have. So it's not necessarily just the chocolate that you're eating, it's giving you all kinds of antioxidants. So for example, our skincare chocolate that you know of is packed full of the plant-based antioxidant called astaxanthin.
You mean the one I ate a box of already?
Yes, I'm actually now I'm short inventory. I have nothing to give any of my other clients because Dr. George has completely depleted all of what I had.
Hence my new energy. There you go. So the chocolate gives energy. So what are you going to tell the stay-at-home mom that has 4 kids when she's trying to get them not to eat chocolate? I mean, when should they eat this chocolate? When should they shouldn't, so they can get some health benefits?
You know, it only has 2 grams of sugar. The chocolate that we're referencing is actually called Esthechoc. So Esthechoc, like esthetician. So it is a skincare-based chocolate, and it only has 2 grams of sugar. 2 grams of sugar for a 7-gram bar, and it only has 38 calories. So not only is it non-GMO, it's organic, it's gluten-free, it is safe for diabetics since it is only 2 grams of sugar. You can take it any day, any time of the day. I take it in the morning with my coffee, so just so that I remember to take it, because it's a supplement, it's not a treat. It can be looked at as a treat, but it's better than taking a pill full of astaxanthin or collagen or biotin or all of these other things that are out in the market right now. So you can take it any time of day. My parents take it at night. My best friend kind of keeps them with her in her purse. And
do you have studies before and after of where it increases that energy?
It actually, yes, we do.
Other than a sugar high, which it doesn't have enough sugar?
We do. So what you're talking about, and specifically for the Ageless Energy portion of the Esthechoc that we have as a supplement, we have found out that because of the micro oxygenation and circulation in the blood, that it increases by 70% after just 3 weeks of taking this chocolate supplement every day. We found that because of the oxygenation in each singular cell, not just in the skin, but also in the tissue, in the organs, it's helping out with mitochondrial repair. So as you know, the oxygen that's found in your tissues and your muscles, as you're working them, whether you're active or not, it doesn't matter how much you're really doing to expend that energy, it helps with repairing those muscles. So you find people who are taking this are finding kind of little anecdotal, not only is my skin glowing and it's helping with my acne, or it's reducing the redness of my rosacea, but I'm waking up and I have more energy. I feel better when I go to the gym. I'm not tiring as easily. So there's a lot of really incredible anecdotal benefits and science and, no kidding, clinical studies behind this amazing chocolate.
Well, that's amazing. I think this chocolate is made for Ageless Energy because, it's about how to heal your self-generated energy systems through the renewal of your body, mind, spirit. And one of the things we do in the program is we teach about the mitochondria and the cells that show live blood cells, in fact, and how blood runs around and when it loses its power and energy, and rolling photography and all that stuff to do with energy, right? And you're basically saying that this chocolate will actually feed into that and help support and protect us and build that up. Again, not as a treat, though. If you're going to take your supplements, you might as well see it as a treat instead of a supplement, right?
That's right.
And it's 2 in 1.
Absolutely. And well, it tastes amazing. We were featured on The Doctors. It was about a 6-minute segment. And Jen Berman, who is the OBGYN, who is on The Doctors, she just raved about it. And at no point did we ever pay for any PR. It wasn't even available in the United States market yet. It had only just launched at Harrods in London in the UK in 2015. So they're kind of getting wind of this, and Dr. Jen Berman, she goes on to The Doctors and she says, oh my gosh, I was up until 2 in the morning reading a white paper with the scientific research on this chocolate. This cannot be real, and she says, but it is, because here's all the studies that shows all the things that I just told you. And her colleague was on there and he's trying it, and you kind of expect it, I guess, to maybe have this weird taste because it's full of all these antioxidants and everything, on the cocoa polyphenols are fortified. So you're like, what is this going to taste like? And they all tried it on the show on air. And one of the other doctors that were on there, he said, it really is just the perfect sweetness. It tastes really, really good. It's a 72.6% cacao. So it's palatable. It melts in your mouth, and it's good for you. So you can snack on it, absolutely, by all means. I wouldn't eat the whole box because it's full of antioxidants, and you're not going to keel over if you eat the whole box. But you might, spend a little time in the bathroom or something like that. So, just take it as recommended. It is a supplement. Eat 1 a day. Maybe 2 or 3 won't hurt you.
So it can be a detox if you eat too much.
No. More than
you said bathroom too much. I got that.
Maybe. Well, and I have not tested that theory, and I have not heard anything about anybody else. But there is no anything on our packaging that says, not safe for children, keep out of reach of children, nothing like that. So it's safe for children as well. But because the FDA has classified it as a supplement, because we have studies showing exactly what it has in it, we're making those claims and we have that research. We technically can't sell it to someone under the age of 18, but my bosses, my CEO, Rob Insinger, his kids take it every day. They love it. And a lot of my cousins, younger children, take it. So it's great. We just say, okay, moms, give this to your kids. We can't have your kid he's 12 going and buying Esthechoc. So it's pretty neat.
And so obviously you know very well what you're talking about, because we're doing this in the morning and you're just spouting this off like a famous doctor scientist. So I'm quite impressed hearing it. I'm just having fun listening to all the doctors speak here. So do you have white papers you can share with us that we can even put into the show notes for everybody for the podcast?
Absolutely. I would love to share that with you. I'll send some links of the YouTube videos that my CEO has. We have training videos that are out there. We have a really fun animated 6-minute video that talks about the tempering process that the Cambridge-educated university scientists actually used to patent the technology. Because antioxidants, what the public doesn't really know, which is what we're trying to share with them, is that just because it says has antioxidants, like blueberry acai, or pomegranate or resveratrol. We also have another resveratrol chocolate that's going to be coming into the U.S. here in the next few weeks. So just because the label or something says it has antioxidants, absolutely, it might have a little sprinkle of fairy dust in it, or at one point prior to the tempering or the manufacturing process, it actually may have been bioavailable. But because polyphenols, carotenoids, and all the antioxidants on the planet are so delicate and so difficult to harness, what happens is all of that bioavailability and the good stuff, if you will, the meat of what the human body really needs to heal itself, whether it be skin, muscle, tissue, heart health, cardiovascular health, whatever that antioxidant is supposed to do, you're not getting that at the end of the day. There's no end result. And so what people aren't doing is they're not blood punching, they're not doing invasive skin tests, they're not measuring the blood. And what we've done is we've said, okay, we've actually harnessed this stuff. We did it, and we can prove bioavailability for antioxidants. We can measure your blood. It's there. It exists.
But do you have a website or something where the analytical mom can go get more information?
Yes, 1,000%. She can go to www.esthechocus.com.
Okay, all right. Well, now that's the body part of the mind, body, spirit. Jessica, what do you do and for the mental aspect to create more energy in your life?
For the mental aspect, for me, well, I only just recently started meditating. Actually, April 19th of this year, 2017, was my first time ever trying it. And I've heard from so many people. I'm 33 years old, and I've heard, probably for the last 10, 15 years, especially since meditation became very trendy in the United States, this is what you need to do in order to just be happy. And I was like, oh, somebody's selling happiness in a jar, I would purchase that, So if that's what meditation means, it's about time that I kind of got off my rear and I actually tried it. And to be honest, I didn't really think I was doing it right. I'm like, well, this is kind of boring. I'm just counting my breaths. I'm doing, what is actually happening and how long do I have to sit here? And I would let a thought come in, and I would read a book that said, okay, just release the thought. And to be honest, I didn't think I did it very well, but when I finally opened my eyes, it was just nice to have quieted my mind for a minute. And so now that is definitely something that I do every single morning, whether I suck at it or not, it doesn't matter. I do it well or I do it partially, whatever my best is for that day.
Well, it's unique. There's no such thing as doing it well. I mean, who's the judge and jury?
Exactly.
And even then, if it's prayer and God's the judge and jury, he's just glad you're doing it. It's about having a conversation like we're having here. It's about being authentic and you voicing what's in your head and your heart to a higher power, as opposed to just keeping it all in. And I don't think so. Once again, see, what's happening though is we judge ourselves. And we put the parameters and limits on ourselves unwittingly. And we got to take that off to fully feel free and have more energy and all that. Just do it. Embrace the process. There's no such thing as getting it right. Success is messy.
Success is messy. I love that. You couldn't be more right. I am so imperfect that it's perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
And I look at people and I think the same thing.
An imperfect storm.
An imperfect storm. I just like flopping around through life like a little fish out of water. I'm just like, that wasn't right at all. But you know what? I had fun and I learned something.
That's it. As long as you flop right back into the water.
Just eventually get back in the water. That's all that matters.
You don't want to out here in Vegas. You don't want to be a fish outside the water here for very long.
Can we just take a second to talk about this heat? This heat is ridiculous.
Yes, it is ridiculous. I think it's 112. Let's see. No, it's 104 officially.
And it's only 11 a.m.
It's only 11 a.m. 3 minutes to 11 a.m. Yeah, and we're sitting in the shade, and she's all dressed up, and I'm wearing workout clothes, and I am sweating.
We might need to put a picture on the pod. Can you take a picture of us, and then we can upload it somehow in the comments?
Oh, absolutely. They'll put it up there. Show notes and everything.
That's great. So they're going to get to see how the dynamic duo, if you will.
Yeah. You see the one getting ready to go hit the gym, and the one getting ready to make magic going into the spa world. So it's about living that magic. And you'll see all the other folks that are kind of hanging on and waking back up because they're looking for their energy. So speaking of that, so here we are in Las Vegas, and it's amazing how many people gave away their energy last night.
I know. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. We did talk about that.
Drinking too much, or even drinking at all, eating too heavy, eating the wrong foods, right, which steal your power and energy, listening to the wrong things, or walking around with headsets on, you know what I mean? And then the messages that they're getting from everything around them doesn't usually build them up or serve them or help them serve others, right? And so everyone's just kind of wanting to be led. And from what I can tell in Las Vegas, it doesn't take much to be led.
No, it doesn't. Maybe a flashing bright sign and maybe some loud music. I'm like, clearly that's my spirit guide telling me that I need to go and dance at Voodoo right now.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know what I'm going to do about tomorrow, but hey, for now. So they're living for the here and the now. And Ageless Energy is about having it over the long haul. It's like a triathlon. It's about consistent and never-ending improvement, as Tony Robbins would say. It's always improving everything that you do. Or some of my favorite guys, Zig Ziglar and Ed Foreman. It's life is for laughing, loving, and winning, not for whining, and working.
Oh, I love that. Say that one more time.
Life is for laughing, loving, and winning, not for whining, worrying, and working.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
So if you take charge and be proactive, as opposed to all these people being reactive, I feel that gives a lot of people energy too, because they immediately have more self-esteem and self-confidence in everything they do. They're in control of their life to some degree, or at least have a chance, as opposed to giving away the control.
Absolutely.
As long as we have chocolate, right?
Chocolate, Dr. George makes everything in life just so much better.
It makes everyone happy. Yes, it does make everybody happy. And so now you kind of blended earlier the spirit part with the mental part. So if I ask you about the spirit part, where would Jessica take me?
I kind of wish that I had someone around, whether it be through a podcast or a book or just a mentor, that really kind of spoke my language with spiritual messages. So if you know what, you're spreading love, light, and happiness, that's a spiritual message that people want to know. But when I was growing up, and even until recently, and even now, I kind of feel like, who's really going to speak my language? Who's going to make me laugh? Who's witty enough and intelligent enough and business savvy enough? And who's going to be able to actually relate to me like how you and I are relating to each other right now? And to guide me and to say, you know what, this is the way, this is how you got to be a good person. And it never mattered to me kind of, the bottom of the faith or where it comes from. It was always the same message to me, I think. And it was just be a good person, spread love, always respond in kindness. And if you do that, then you're fine. And that's my truth, I think. And I was, we talked a lot about the spirit and religion and everything else last night. But I just really, what I want to do is I want to help translate the spiritual messages influence to people just like me. But I also want to do it. I want to talk about love. I want to talk about leadership and followership and how to level up in your business or in your family.
So I'm going to jump in right there because I said, tell me about Jessica Dee, and you really didn't. I mean, I hear from you 13 years in the Marines. I hear from you all these unique past experiences that are now shaped who you are.
Oh, that's what you wanted.
I got a feeling they want to know some of this because they hear the really cool, polished Jessica Dee.
Oh.
But
well, so I was born and raised very young in Champaign, Illinois. My dad was in a car accident when we were around 8. He's still with us, but it caused him to file for disability. So we had to wait about 2 years for him to get, going with the disability things. As you know, you can't really get paid or work while you're waiting for disability checks to come through. So that caused my mother to go back to work. Of course, she wanted to. She's happy to help out the family and my little brother and I. And so we moved to Colorado Springs, and kind of made our way up from lower class to lower middle class, if you will. We're always very thankful and grateful for everything that we've had. You would have never known that we were poor. So our parents spent all their money on everything that we ever needed, whether it be clothes or uniforms or sports or just hobbies or anything. So we grew up very blessed. And so at about 16, 17, I started realizing that I wanted to travel the world. I didn't want to go to college because college was silly. I hated school, and I either had straight A's or F's, depending on the subject matter. And so, for example, math failed 3 or 4 times in a row, pre-algebra, barely graduated high school from that, but yet I had straight A pluses in advanced creative writing. And so I was just kind of that weird, confused kid that was friends with everybody. And eventually I just said, well, you know what? I think I'm going to join the Marine Corps. So I joined right before 9/11. 9/11 happened. And of course, my parents were like, oh my gosh, can she take that back? Is there some whiteout from the contract? Because, oh my gosh, my baby girl, she's going to war, and just all these things. And to be honest, after 9/11 happened, when I'd already enlisted, that made me even that much more amped to go and to serve my country. So I did that for 13 years. I was an air traffic controller. I was an equal opportunity advisor. I was a sexual assault victims advocate. I was a bus driver. I was a Humvee driver. I scored very high on physical fitness tests. I scored very high on rifle tests. I volunteered for anything that would come up. I was a legal administrative representative, so worked basically with the JAG and the entire legal office for the bases. I presented in front of thousands of people about equal opportunity, sexual harassment and assault, and legal proceedings as well. I also served overseas for 3 years as a detachment commander. I was in charge of the Marines who were serving and protecting the physical security and surroundings of the American embassies. So I was their boss. So I was basically their mom, their dad, their brother, every single thing that you could possibly imagine. You take these Marines and you put them in a foreign country, in an embassy. Where are they living? How are they eating? Are they keeping their rooms clean? Who's taking care of leave? Who's taking care of medical? Oh my gosh, their wife, is now pregnant back home, or whatever it is, their child's sick. How do we get them home? Promotions, everything. That was me for 3 years. And I was stationed in Haiti for 1 year after the 2010 earthquake that shook the entire world. That was a really interesting experience. From there, I went to Prague, Czech Republic. I think they felt bad that I was in Haiti for a year. So they're like, hey, just go ahead and go to Prague, live for a year.
I would have felt bad.
So that was amazing. I think Prague still has a little tiny piece of my heart. And then my third and final tour on embassy duty was Havana, Cuba, which was a very sad and beautiful experience altogether. And from there, went back to Yuma, Arizona, where I still have an investment property out there, and finished out my last 2 years before I got married to my best friend of 12 years. Still adore him. He's now my ex-husband. We were great friends, but apparently horrible partners. We both realized that, and just kind of were like, well, we went to counseling, we tried everything, and let's just go our separate ways. We really wanted this to work, but so it's just a really funny, kind of boring love story there, where it's like, you married your best friend, but sometimes it's just meant to stay friends. So no hard feelings. I still adore him. I always will. And so now living a single life in the spa industry, selling some chocolate and selling some supplements, and all of this, of which is going to help the world because it's altruistic and it really has an end result behind it. It's been clinically studied. Meanwhile, I've done a lot of other things. I've been a buyer and contractor for Raytheon. I still hold a top secret clearance, a TSCI. I
knew he was a secret spy. I just wasn't sure with who.
Well, I can't tell you that. I can't tell you.
That's the problem. I have to kill you. Yes.
I can't. That's not. I'm not at liberty to say that. So I'm a dabbler, if you will. I'm very mediocre at a lot of things and a master at very, very little things. So.
Well, I don't believe that, but obviously, see, I just want folks to know you've had plenty in your life that would take away your energy, and yet you've always found a way to come back to your power and reclaim your energy. And if anything, use whatever fuel you're given to create more energy. And some of your fuel kind of stunk, but you used it to create more energy. And that's what everyone needs to really, I think, take from your story is, life can suck and it's okay. That's called life. But when it does, it's what you do with it that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
And turn it into energy.
I cannot agree with you.
Great job.
And I love that. Thank you.
And turning that into more power and energy. Now, October 20th and 21st, Jessica, you're invited. We're having our first annual Ageless Energy Conference
I would love
there
to
in
go.
Dallas, Texas. Yes. And a lot of the podcast interviews and guests will actually be at the event, guys, where we have dancing, we have music, we have healthy food, we have IVs, we have spa treatment, we have all kinds of stuff. It's not just sit and listen to anything because you lose your energy doing that, right? So it's going to be combining all these things to create more massive energy in the movement. And so, Jessica Dee Bruton, you're definitely invited to be there. So I'll make sure everyone tags you. Go, where are you? You need to be here. You should be here. See,
oh, geez,
I'm putting the onus on you, right?
Wow. Gotta hold me accountable.
And invite everybody. Well, it's a movement, and it's something that everybody needs more of their work-life balance. And finding the mind, body, spirit, because it's a busy world. Making money really is the easy part, but we get caught up in everything and we don't have enough of the other. Hence, we die too fast, or we live too long, but we live where we're already truly dead and we're comatose because we're not truly living. And so the whole thing is about turning all that paradigm upside down on its head, right? And you're one of those paradigm shifters, if you will. And I want more people like you to be there, and I want you to encourage more and be the leader that you are. And so it's for leaders, and it's also for people who want to become a leader. So go to support@catchfirecoaching.com. support@catchfirecoaching.com. Email us or email Jessica and say, hey, I want to meet Jessica when I go. Because Jessica, by then, I think, has a book coming out sometime in October. It'll be coming out, or maybe you get the advance copy. And
am I allowed to curse on your podcast if it's for the title of my book? Can I? No? Maybe not. I have a curse word in my book, folks.
You can, but they're going to star certain parts of it probably.
Okay, great. So, ladies and gentlemen, my book will be released. Hard copy edit is expected in October of 2017, and the title is Life's Fuckery 1.0. It's a 3-series book series. That 2.0 is going to follow the next year and followed by the Mecca the following year. So it's going to be a 3-year journey with me. We talk about everything from leadership, life, love, sex, spirituality, meditation, forgiveness, growth, anything that has to do with leveling up and what you need to do to get there. But we use a lot of humor, sarcasm, personal, relatable stories, and it's going to be a really, really amazing journey. So I really look forward to releasing that. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to jessicadeeofficial.com, JESSICADEE official.com.
Now, Jessica, before we wrap this up, too, just one more little deep thing. So, you got meditation, all this stuff going on, but you were raised Catholic, right?
I was raised Catholic.
And you've since studied many different religions. Thoughts.
Been to so many different temples, read so many different books, and kind of even just like the Wikipedia short versions of the how, the when, the why, and the practice and the rituals.
Is it more for yourself or to help others, or a combination?
But definitely a combination of both. Definitely a combination. I love the argument that my parents had when I was still in the womb. And that was that my mother was very, very devout Catholic. And my dad was kind of not. And she said, well, I really want the kids to have a foundation of faith. And I really feel strongly that we should baptize, Jessica and later on my little brother who came 15 months later. And my dad said, I don't agree with that at all. I think that they should just kind of grow up and be able to choose for themselves. I don't really know how I feel about forcing a religion on a little tiny baby that has no idea what's happening. And that kind of set the tone for me because I loved and agreed with both opinions. I would have 100% backed my mom and I would have 100% backed my dad. So what does that mean for me if I can't compromise and choose one or the other? I'm not a 51-49 on this issue. I love it. I would have, and you know what? I feel like I would have felt the same exact way had I been baptized or had I not ever went to, Catholic Mass. So it's a catechism. I went to Sunday school, to everything else. And to be honest, I thought it was fantastic. And sometimes I still go. And sometimes I'll go with a friend to their church. Do I care what it is? No. Am I still going to speak the same language and still be grateful and still ask for the higher power that be, whatever he or she or it may be? If I'm going to ask that, then it's all the same to me. And that's my truth. That's my truth. And I love everybody else's truth. And I appreciate especially having talks like this. If somebody's adult enough and mature enough to be able to express different opinions and hear the different opinions of others, I find it fascinating. It's been so nice to have met you. And I thank you so much for the copy of your book. I'm really excited to get into this, not only for me, but because we have some very unique products that really don't resonate very well with the public here in the United States just yet. Functional food and supplements with clinical data isn't really something that everyone's pushing for here, but they are in Europe. So I'm really, really excited to dive into this for internet and social media marketing. Even though we're not a medical practice, we do have medical data behind our products. So I have no doubt that Catch Fire Marketing in this book written by you, Dr. George, is going to be a really amazing asset for myself and for Cambridge Chocolate Technologies, Carousel Mysol Technologies, and Audiugo Investments, which are the 3 companies that I'm associated with. So thank you so much.
Well, Jessica, thank you. I'm so glad I met you. I'm so glad you agreed to be on the podcast at short minutes notice, out in 104-degree heat, just
so
at a moment's notice. I know it. So you're a trooper. I appreciate that. Getting me a green drink, even that was cold at the beginning, but now it's hot. It's got to go back to the refrigerator. But I got a green drink to start the day out, which is always a big deal to Chandler, everybody that knows me.
Dr. George, don't say I didn't ever get you anything about your $2.50 green drink.
And it's a green drink. See, you totally know me. It's all the veggies and everything. I usually make green drinks for people. So this is absolutely perfect. So I look forward to having you on the show again at a later time. You'll be in there in October. And I guess we'll go out and make waves at the International Spa Conference and Expo show, right?
Oh, yes, sir, we will. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you.
See you all in the next show. Thank you.
Toodles.